So, I just left a couple of stores, running around doing a little bit of shopping today. I went down to the premium outlets here in Vegas. I figured I'd go see if they have some more awesome Converse for me. No score on that. But the lady at the register was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. Where you been? And I was like, oh, just being busy, you know, living my life. I was like, I had to come in and see if y'all had any special editions in my size. She's like, yeah, you got those shoes that I wanted them so bad. They were only in that one pair and they didn't fit. I was like, yeah, I know, right? Everywhere I go, people compliment that pair of Converse that I got. So I left there. I didn't find any shoes. There was no one-offs. There was no special editions for me today. And then I went over to another store that I like to shop at for shirts and jeans. You know, nothing fancy. Just where I like to pick up some nice things. Sometimes I find stuff there. So I go in there and I didn't really find nothing, but I found that cutting board. I was like, you know what? I want this cutting board. I had told myself the other day at the house, I need to get a new cutting board. So I went and I actually did find a very nice cutting board. I'm very happy with it. A bamboo cutting board. It has a little handle so it's easy to hold. It has a little, groove around the edge so it catch all the juice from what you cut in. So silly me, I'm excited about a cutting board. Anyways, I go to pay for it and the lady at the register is like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad you remembered me. I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. And then as I'm walking out the door, they're like, yeah, it's time for you to go live and talk to people about their presence in their power. Let me tell you something. I would have never recognized either of those ladies if I had seen them somewhere. I would have never recognized neither one of them. But they both recognized me. They both recognized me. They both noticed my presence. And they noticed that I hadn't been there in a while. And they felt moved enough by it to say something. So what the message was, it was coming through. It's like, you go about your everyday life. You just do what you feel motivated to. You know what I'm saying? And what you don't know is that you are so noticed in your presence and your absence. You are noticed. People remember who you are. There's this energy that radiates from you, and it goes everywhere you go. People notice it, they recall it, they remember it, they miss it when you're not there. And when you come back around, they say, oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, and these are people that you're like, oh God, you know me. Oh, okay. I would have never recognized you from anything, but they recognize you, you know what I'm saying? They know who you are, they recognize who you are. They done seen you before, they took note of you in some type of way. Your energy, your presence is your power. These people notice your presence, they feel your presence, honey. And when you come back around, they feel that too. And when you're not around, they might not think about it too much until you come back around. How long you been gone, I heard. But once you come back around, it's like, whoa, oh, you're here. It's like people are affected by your energy. Okay, now these are people we talking about who I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So then they say, and on top of that, imagine how much more so this is true when it's people you actually know. Okay, your presence is your power. So now what I'm hearing is that with your presence in your power, you know, so that you decided that you were going to pull off from, you know what I'm saying? You were like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I ain't doing this anymore. For whatever reason, you decided to leave certain situations in your past. And I heard it took some time for you to come to those conclusions even. But the thing of it is, once you reach those conclusions, then they reach back out for your energy because they do know you. They do know more than just what you look like. They actually know your name. They've had the grace and the ability to have extended periods of time visiting with you in your space. Some of them have been in your home, in your car. You've been to their home, in their car. Y'all have broke bread together, stuff like that, right? So whenever something has happened and a boundary has been crossed, right, a limit has been reached, and you pull off from them, you don't allow yourself to be in their presence anymore. They definitely notice your presence. So your presence is your power, and they try to, reach back into that. They try to reach back into that. Now what they're showing me is this one woman actually told me, I don't care if you're mad. I just care that you talk to me. Like, hello, reveal yourself, you demon. Reveal yourself, you vampire. They don't care If you are angry with them, they don't care how you engage with them. When they try to tap back into your energy, the only point is to get back in the vicinity of your power. They don't give a damn whether or not you're happy with them. If you're cursing them out, yelling at them, as a matter of fact, they don't mind that at all. Because you're engaged and you're passionate enough to let go of your emotional mastery over them. They kind of like make them pop their collar a little bit. So there's something there for you, for somebody here. Somebody needs to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So different ones is reaching out to you because your presence is your power, honey. They're missing your presence. Your absence is felt once they really know you and they gotten comfortable in your energy. What does that mean? They got comfortable in your energy. That means they get so used to having you around that they forget the presence, the powerful presence that you bring. They get so used to having it around. If it always smells like roses, you get a little bit desensitized to the smell of the rose. You know what I'm saying? If you used to sitting around in this luxury here, you get a little desensitized to it. It's all just normal for you now. You get used to being around a healer who always take care of everything. You get a little bit desensitized to until they remove themselves from your presence. That's why your presence is your power, right? So anywhere where you set limitations and boundaries, saying, I'm not allowing myself to be more. They're no longer allowed to be in my presence. And trust and believe that it will be felt. They said don't feel bad because they miss you. Yeah, of course they gonna miss you. Who else got a presence like you? Who else got a power like you? Who else do they feel that charge of energy being in the presence of your power like you? And the thing of it is, they miss your presence because it's so beautiful to feed off of. One of the readings we did recently, we talked about how the difference between the vampire sucking up your energy because you're high vibrational, you're a beautiful energy of love and peace and happiness, versus somebody who is always living that life of chaos and life of stress. Yeah, they milk off of that, but the feeding is a lot more long lasting. It's a heartier substance. It's like having onion soup versus having a crock pot roast, you know what I'm saying, with meat and potatoes and veggies and shit, with the bread on the side and the butter with the rolls, you know what I'm saying, and the dessert and all that. That's the difference between your energy and the energy of some of these others. So that's why even strangers, to you who are strangers, they know who you are. They remember you. And they notice, I haven't seen you in forever. And you're like, dude, you work at the gas station that I go to once in a while. What's the problem? Or you're like, I only shop at this store once in a while. Like, I don't need to go to the Converse store every day, every week. They don't even put new shoes out that often. Why would I be in here more often than I am? But they notice your presence, right? And so these different ones, they violated some type of way the standards of your presence. So you have removed your energy from them, okay? And in that, of course, they're going to miss you. Of course, they're going to try to get back in where they can fit in. Of course, they're going to feel it. Of course, they're going to be sad when you're gone. You can't feel bad about that. You can't feel bad about that. If anything, it's quite confirming, you know what I'm saying? And it's a sign to that person that they need to learn how to handle their own emotional needs and fulfillment, right? Because they've drawn too much from others in their experience. That's why they feel horrible. Now, what if it's you? What if it's you and you're like, oh my God, this person's gone away and now I feel like crap. I miss them. I just want them back. Okay, then it's time for you to get down to the nitty gritty with yourself and ask yourself, why? How is it that, I can't feel good on my own? And how can I feel good on my own? And then there was a powerful question that one of my friends put up to me. He said, why is it so easy to give so much love to everyone else? And why can't I give that love to myself? And I said, well, what I channeled for him was, well, instead of that, why don't you instead ask the question of how can I love myself with the same intensity and longevity as what I have loved others? Okay, and how can I love myself first? We talked about that question just over a year and a half ago, and his life has completely changed. He used to be seeking out constantly the next relationship, or if he wasn't seeking out the next relationship, he was in a relationship and he was trying to, how can I make it work? How can I make it work? Very much a how can I make it work? Even when it wasn't working from the other side of the table, he was the only one putting in the work, right? And now he's like, I'm so happy in my own energy. I don't even want a relationship. And it's funny because since he don't want a relationship, I tell you, he done had 4 or 5 men try to, hey, I really like, we should get married. Like, immediately, these guys are like, we should get married. So it's like, as soon as you're comfortable in your own energy, these people want to come into your energy. They could be new people, they could be old people, but don't be surprised that the old ones try to come back. But remember, there's a reason why the situation ended up how it did, why you let it go in the first place. Honor that, okay? The type of changes that would have to take place in a person in order for them to change the reason that you left the situation in the first place are not overnight changes for most people. 99.9% of all humanity will not make those changes so quickly. I'm talking the course of a lifetime changes, okay? These are lifetime changes that will be needed to make somebody who's a dishonest douchebag to turn into an honest, loyal person of integrity and transparency. They will have to have so many experiences. They would have to burn their own self so much that their consciousness would shift finally, right? That type of stuff doesn't usually happen overnight, right? And you've had it happen before. You give somebody a chance. They say to you, I've changed, I'm a different person. You love them, you want it to work out, so you say, fuck it, I'll give them a chance, right? You say, fuck it, I'll give them a chance. And here's the thing, what happens is, it's good for what, a week, 2 weeks, 2 days, and it's right back to the same old shit. It's right back to the same old shit. Why? Because it was a surface change. And now they're showing me this card that talks about, you know, it talked about how, and it's one that I designed, it talked about how changing yourself in order to accommodate another person is not a true change. It is trying to create this manufactured version of yourself. You need to love your true self. You need to be your authentic self. This is why we often prescribe in readings to not give out the roadmap to your heart, baby. They like to ask you, well, what are you looking for in a partner? They ask you that question because they want to know what representative to put on to get in your pants, girl. They want to know what representative to put on to move in your house. They want to know what representative to put on to get into your bank account. They want to know what representative to put to drive your car. You know what I'm saying? They want to know what representative to put your heart all into them instead of where it had been, which was into you. They want to know the treasure map, because you are the treasure. Don't go giving up the treasure map. Even in every movie you see, the treasure map is something that is secret. It's hidden, right? It's not available for everybody. It's not just out there. You got to find the treasure map. And it usually requires an epic journey, right? And then even once somebody got the treasure map, they then